Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with Founders Week, tonight we are drinking the Red Rye P.A. ale, hopped up, brewed with rye, and it's another weird label. Is that an old guy or something? I don't know. 6.6% ABV, 70 IBUs, and they never have any description on the bottle as to what to expect or anything, so I mean, I could have looked it up on the website or whatever, but you know, I try to go into these reviews as blind as possible. I'm gonna use the 𝓑𝓮𝓬𝓲 Red Amber Ale glass just for kicks. I mean, Founders is made in Michigan. If I was gonna drive from New York to Michigan, you'd have to go through Canada to get there. So, get a little Canadian shout out there tonight. Maybe I didn't pour that aggressive enough. I thought I did. Just got like a pinky of a head there. As far as the color, well, I mean, they call it a red beer. I definitely call that red. Reddish orange. Quite dark, actually. A little bit of haze. Lots of carbonation bubbles sticking all over the glass there. Head's just kind of a yellow, soapy, sandy kind of thing. Oh, it smells great though. It smells like a West Coast IPA. It's all grapefruit. It's like grapefruit and tangerine, mango. Maybe a little bit of flowers in there. Smells great, so let's see if it tastes great. Yeah. This reminds me a lot of the other, like the red ales that are really hoppy. I think like they're kind of like a trend now, or maybe they're starting to become a trend. It's reminding me like the 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓲𝓷 and the Green Flash Hophead Red. Very similar to those beers. They're just super hoppy red beers. What's nice about this one is that it's not like obnoxiously dry like those two beers are. Very, very bitter. Especially at the beginning of the palate. I also get like a little bit of like a tropical fruit juice across the middle. And it finishes remarkably clean. I'm surprised. Not a sticky body. A lot of these hoppy beers, they tend to be like almost like syrup, like carbonated syrup. This one's not doing that. It's I wouldn't call it crisp though. It's not super crispy. It's more of just like a generic ale as far as like the mouthfeel. Probably medium bodied. You know, the mouthfeel itself I guess is kind of soft. I'm actually drinking this probably a little too cold, but yeah, so it's a nice, the mouthfeel is nice on it. It's not over carbonated, it's not fizzy, it's not particularly dry, although I'm noticing that after each swig the hops are lingering, where there's a little bit more on each one. Very, very drinkable. I mean, look, I'm almost probably halfway through with this by now. I can just slurp this right down. Yeah, so far so good. So we'll take a break and come back with the final thoughts on the Red Rye P.A. ale. Alright, final score for the Red Rye P.A. Really, really like this beer. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. It's very good. It's last time I said that the Founders Porter was probably the best porter I've ever had. This is probably the best red ale I've ever had. Definitely like it more than the 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓬𝓲 and the Green Flash. It's got that hot bitterness that you want from like an IPA or like a very hoppy red ale like this, but it's not like obnoxiously dry. Like the hops definitely linger, but they're not as much as some of the other beers I've had. In fact, I just checked the website and it says it's made with 4 varieties of Belgian caramel malts, but it's not. It's not a. There's nothing Belgian-y to this beer at all, other than the fact that that's where they get the malts from. I wouldn't call it a particularly sweet beer as far as the malty side. I think it's just really well balanced. I get more of like that tropical kind of fruit juice taste that we got in the, like the smell, the taste matches up with that. And it's actually quite refreshing while it's in the mouth. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for Founders Red Rye IPA. Oh, speaking of the rye's supposed to, give it like a little bit of spice to the palate, and it's like, I kind of got that. I kind of had a look for it. I mean, like, when I think of rye beer, I think of like 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓻𝓂 IPA, which is like literally like rye bread carbonated. So, yeah. So, alright, that does it for this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.